What is going on? It is good to see everyone today, and we're going to do a little bit of a live thing that we don't get to do real often. And we are going to jam about some cool stuff. We're going to jam about social media today. We're going to jam about, more specifically, we're going to jam about what you should be posting. And not just posting for the sake of posting. What should you be posting for your business, or if you help other businesses with this kind of stuff, what should you be posting on your social media to get customers? And hey, what's up, guys? Good to see you. We got a lot of live people that are coming in today. For those of you that are watching a replay later, we got a lot of live people coming in to join us today, and from various networks. So that should be a whole lot of fun. So I'm excited that today we're going to jam a little bit about social media, what you should be posting. This is something that, I've been teaching a long time in terms of like how much you should post. How do you actually, post a lot? We've, gone so far as to invest a lot of money into building software to do this stuff efficiently. But really, what's the strategy behind this stuff? What should you be posting, and like what times should you be posting if you don't have a clue? Hey, what's up, Ryan? Hey, John. Good to see you, Brandy. Got lots of folks popping into our chat saying hey, so it's good to see you guys. What should you be posting on social media to actually get into a spot where it's going to turn into customers? Whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Twitter. Now, all of these networks have various things that you should be doing and thinking about because they're all a little bit different and they have different audiences, right? But as a whole, as a business, what should you be thinking about? And that's the thing, is not just, hey, I'm a person on this stuff. I'm actually have a business. What should I be doing to actually get in a spot that it's going to be good? And so, value, it's value, but like, what kind of value? Like, what are you trying to get across when you're posting? And that's the thing. There's a lot of subtle things that go on underneath a lot of the stuff that we post. And it's important to realize that. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk a little bit about this. And guess what? I didn't just show up willy-nilly. I came with the presentation. Believe it or not, I came with the presentation to talk about this stuff. So what we're going to do is on your screen right now, you should see some slides popping up. And so for those of you that know me, that Social Rotation is a company that we started, my friend Jeff and I started. And Social Rotation is a company that is all about helping you to post your stuff. And so technically they're sponsoring us today, right? So good for them. And thanks for throwing us what we needed to do this. But all that said, what we're talking about is simply this. What should your business post on social media to get customers and to bring your existing customers back more often? That's what today's all about. And I won't take long doing this, but let's get into it. So first things first, I have a few rules. That I sort of go through with this. And by the way, I'm not being like overly fancy with this presentation. I don't even have it open full. You get the idea. We're being super chill today. So I have a few rules with this, okay? Your post on social media should follow these 3 rules. The first rule is you must post at least once a day, more on certain networks. Like on Facebook and Twitter, we try to post at least twice a day. But like at least once a day on most of these networks is where you want to live, okay? Now, obviously, there's exceptions to every rule out there, but if you have an idea of how to do this, there you go. Now, if like you're listening to me say this right now and you're like, Adkins, I have no idea how we would post at least once per day, then talk to me a little bit more, because this is important. This is something I had to figure out the hard way over the last 10 years. But it's important that you do this. Rule number 2, your content should be educational or act as a window into the business. Now, that's one of those things that won't make a whole lot of sense to some folks yet, and that's okay if it doesn't. Educational, yes, but what do you mean by a window into the business? Well, you got to think like a website. That's going to be sort of a static representation. That's sort of what people think when they go there. They're like, this is our dressed up in a tuxedo, sort of what people want us to think about their business. And so it's sort of static. It doesn't really feel alive. It feels like a non-moving thing. And social media is different. Social media actually should feel like somebody's driving by your business and looking right in the window. And that's the way that it should feel. We'll get into more of that in just a second. Now, it's important for your page to be alive, and it's more important that your page feels alive than it is for your page to be perfect. I get so many people that we consult with or that are clients of ours that they get into this mode of Well, I didn't have everything ready, so we weren't posting. And I'm like, did you have 5 days of post ready? Did you have a day of post ready? Get something out there. That's the important part, right? All right, so let's get back into this because we have a lot more to cover. So now that you got sort of some of the rules here, let's talk about like your posting times, and then I'm going to get to like what you should actually be posting. So for Facebook and Twitter, 2 times a day, I typically recommend around 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. That's where, if you don't know exactly, I mean, you've not looked at your stats as to when people are on your page, 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. is a great place to start. And you got to think this is sort of your, I'm getting ready to go to lunch. This is sort of your, I'm getting ready to go home sort of stuff. But those are great times. Plus, once people sort of get into that, I'm at lunch or I'm at home, you have a post that's had time to sort of get its wind underneath it and get its legs. So that's good. Instagram, 1 time per day is good. Around 9 a.m. during the week is when we recommend everybody go in there and they start posting stuff there. But 1 time a day, at least on Instagram, 9 a.m. is a good time. Just sort of lets the post get its legs underneath it throughout the day. So you've got that. So hopefully that makes sense. LinkedIn, 1 to 2 times per day between 10 a.m. and noon. That's where we are getting lots of folks that are, hey, Ricky, what's up, buddy? That's where we're getting lots of folks that are going to kind of see your stuff, and it's going to, really move throughout the day. And then Google My Business, 1 time per day, 10 a.m. to noon. Now, there's lots of other places that you can be posting for your business, but these are the big ones for us. For 95%, I would say, of the businesses that we have, this is where we live most days. Now, let's talk about this. Now that we have this stuff down, what kind of stuff should you post? What kind of stuff should you post? And this is where you get into like, if I have anybody here that ever got into like copywriting or, really getting into the psychology of what's actually happening on social media. If you're a small business and you're like trying to figure out this social media and what you should be doing, this may not be something that you've ever had put in front of you, but I want to put in front of you because when I get a client, when I get someone that signs up with us to actually run their social media, these are the things that I'm really concerned with. And for somebody that does this stuff every single day, even if you don't have someone doing it for you, if you're doing it yourself, this is something that you want to know. So let's jump back in and let's actually talk about kind of what we want to be doing when we do this. So let's talk about the psychology behind it. When I'm posting on a page or a profile, I want to establish 3 things about a business through their social media. All right, so 3 things. I want people or everybody that I'm helping out, if I'm helping out a business, I want to establish some very important things. I want to establish that this business is an authority in their chosen field. That's number 1. They have to be seen as an authority in their chosen field. And you should be able to get that across in the simplest way on social media. I'll show you how to get that across in a couple minutes. But how do you, without having to say, we're awesome, how do you get that across that we're awesome and that we know what we're talking about, right? Whether you're a restaurant, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a real estate agent, whether you're selling, info products online, whether you have an agency, it doesn't matter. The big thing here is how do you establish that you're an authority in the chosen field? From there, how do you establish this next one, which is important, that you're a source of positive energy? Too many businesses miss this. People like to do business with people that lift them up. Simple. It's the simplest thing in the world, but a lot of businesses miss this. People like to do business with businesses that are a source of positive energy. So if you can be an authority, you can be good at what you do, but you can also be overly positive, you're going to beat out people that are better at what you do. So if you make pizza, hey, Crystal, what's up? If you make pizza in your business, but you have 2 people in your town that make pizza maybe a little bit better than you, but you're just cool to be around and people love to talk to you when they come in because you're positive. They love the vibe that you give out. You're going to sell more pizza than the places that their pizza is even better. Believe it or not, that's actually how it works. Now, your pizza has to be at least good enough, but it can't be terrible pizza and you counteract it with positivity. But you still have to think, hey, positive energy goes a long way. A long, long way. Now, from there, you have to come off as more organized and professional as other businesses. Now, think about that. Now, we want to be seen as an authority in our chosen field. We want to be a source of positive energy. We want to be seen as more organized and more professional than the competition. Now, why do we want to be seen as more organized and professional? How many of you have, you've gone to a business and they seem like they were good at what they did in terms of the service they delivered. They seem like they were a source of maybe they were good to be around, at least decent. but they weren't organized. Like they were always losing your files. Like stuff wasn't coming together, right? And so this is what's so interesting. Most people don't think that you can accomplish establishing those three things about your business on social media. They don't think that you can get across that you're an authority, that you are a source of positive energy. They don't think that you can get across to people that you're organized in your business and you got your shit together and you're going to handle stuff when they come in just with social. But I want to get across how we do this, because this is like the game changer. Once you figure this out about how to do this, like with like some simple thing you're posting on social media, everything starts to change. So let's talk about how we're actually going to do this, right? How do we actually do this, okay? So we have what we call 3 content flavors. And with these 3 content flavors, what we do on social media is we establish those 3 things. We establish, let's go back to it real quick. We establish that we're an authority in the chosen field. We establish that we're a source of positive energy and that we're fun to be around. We establish that we're more organized and professional than the competitors out there. And we do it with these kinds of posts. So let me actually show you the kinds of posts, and I'm going to establish how these actually work. The first one is this. It's called what we call the Authority Flex post. And this doesn't have to be over the top. It just has to be something simple that only you would know. Excuse me. That only you would know. And the idea here is, if you can get posts out that educate or say something about your field, that you're passionate about it, you're there. So this is a chiropractic office, right? We run social posting for a lot of chiropractic offices. And one of the things that we want to do is we want facts and educational material, even if it's just a sentence, even if it doesn't seem like it's that over the top. This one isn't like overly educational, but it is educational. We want to establish that, hey, this place is an authority. And so this post takes care of that. This kind of post and, tons of posts that we would put up from a chiropractor like this are going to establish the authority part. So that's good. Now, the next thing is positivity, right? So this is what we call a positive energy post. Now, this positive energy post, it's all about having something out there so people get inside your head as to how you believe in things, right? Like, how do you believe in things? What is it that you believe in? And does it make me feel better about my day? I can't tell you guys how many times a day in my own life, I will be out, not at work, not talking to businesses, but just out to enjoy myself. And somebody that owns a business will come up to me in a restaurant and bar and say, listen, I was having a rough day the other day, and something you posted put me in a different place and it made me feel okay. And those are the kinds of things that get us business all the time. You don't want to fake it. You don't want to fake it on social media if the business doesn't have it. And that's why when I take on a social media client, I make sure that they actually have this in place. But the idea is you want to have positivity out there. So this is a positive energy post. And so we mix these in. It's the first post was an authority flex. So it's like education, facts, things like that. The next post is positive energy. Now the next one is weird. The next one, you'll see this on a page, like a chiropractor's page, and you'll be like, why are you posting this kind of content? Like, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't go with the business at all, but it's really interesting why this works. And it's what we call the organized and professional flex post. So almost every single day of the year for our clients, we will post some dumb post about the national day that it is. Now, why? Why do we do this? Like, why would I post on April 29th, a few days back? Why would I have posted about National Zipper Day? Like, who cares? Like, who cares about National Zipper Day? Why is this a good post, let's say on a chiropractor's office page or a real estate or a restaurant's page? Well, you got to think about this. I told you we wanted to establish that this place was organized. The reason that we post 2 times a day on most people's Facebook pages is so that when someone is casually browsing, they will go to that page and say, they're open. I have no question that they're open. I have no question that they're in business. They're open, and look, man, they're with it. They post a couple times a day. This business is on top of it. You would be amazed how many times a week you get a post like this. A post like this, which is National Zipper Day. Organized and professional flex post is what we call this. A post like this is on the page, and what happens is people subconsciously see something like this, and they think, well, that's interesting for a chiropractic page to be posting that, or a dental office to be posting that. But what happens is it's locked in that this is the date. This is a post that was intentionally planned for this date. And so what's happening in the background in someone's mind, if you're posting on a regular basis, if you're posting things that are very on point, even if they don't necessarily connect with the business, is people start to think, you know what? If they're this connected with their social media, I bet they're this organized in their business. This is also what happens when you're not organized and together on your social media. If you have a page out there right now, it could actually be hurting you on Instagram or Facebook if you're not posting, because if someone goes to it and there's nothing there, they're going to assume if you're not organized there, that you're not organized in your business. Now, that may not be fair, but that's what happens. So just to recap here, let's go back through these posts real quick. This is what we post. We post authority flex type post. We post positive energy type post. And we will post organized and professional flex post, which is like something that has the date on it, just to say, hey, we planned ahead. We planned way ahead with this. And that's how it works. So the idea is, with every single post on social media, you want to accomplish one of those three things. You want to accomplish that, hey, we are the best at what we do. We know what we're doing. From there, you want to establish that, hey, you know what? We're positive. We're positive people in this office. We're positive people in this restaurant. We're positive people here. You want to establish that because people love that. And then you want to establish that, hey, we're on top of it. And so a lot of times we'll do date-based posts so people know, oh my gosh, they posted about National Zipper Day on April 29th. They must really be planning ahead, because in the back of their minds, that translates to, you know what, if they're this put together here, they've got to be put together there. All right, so that's it. I didn't want to keep you guys a ton of time today, but I wanted to get on and show you all how we think about social media, how we think about what we post on social media, and how all this comes together. And thank you to the Social Rotation team for helping me put this together for you guys today. This is our brand that we built. That the whole idea was, when I was back in my chiropractic office, I wanted to do this kind of thing, but it was a lot of work to build all these posts. And we built a application that you could literally get going with the application. You could sign up, and within 10 minutes, you could have all your social media done for the entire year. And you could have this kind of content put into it so that it does the three things that we recommend. And so it's like putting your brain into an application so that it works that way. But anyways, I hope this was valuable for you today. I hope that this was something that you can take away, you can start using right away. Do me a favor, if you have questions, post in the box below. If you are a social media director, if you are a business and you've got something cool to add, that you've got a technique, add it. So, I would love to hear what you think wherever you happen to be watching this. Post what you've got in there, post your questions, post what you are doing out there that's working right now. This is what's working for us and for our clients across a wide variety of businesses. And I wanted to get on and share it today. And so there you go. I won't keep you any longer than that, but hopefully that's something that adds some value and something that you can take right off of this. Go start using it. And the idea is, when you get those 50 to 100 people a week that just browse across your page, you may not even know that they're there. You may have no clue that those people are there, but there's 50 to 100 people, even in like the smallest business in the smallest place. They're randomly browsing your page because they don't want to just go to your website. They want to see into your business. They want to see into the window. And that's what social media is for a lot of people, especially my generation. Social media is one of those things where people are going to your page randomly. They're using Facebook search. They're using Instagram search. They're looking around. And when they get to your page, are you seen as an authority? Are you seen as someone that's positive, that's going to lift them up no matter what it is you do? Are you seen as someone that's organized and together? And if you could establish that with the content that you're posting, and that it's regular, and they see right away that, hey, they posted today, so they're still open. The pandemic didn't get these guys, which unfortunately that's the world we live in right now. If you're seeing those things when you jump onto a page, it's big. And like I said, on average, the smallest businesses out there right now get 50 to 100 to 200 people a week that are just browsing their page to see kind of what's going on at random. And it's amazing what happens when you start connecting, that someone seeing your page turned into them picking up the phone, or turned into them going into your business this week. And as we really start to open the world back up, I wanted to make sure that we got this out there so that you know that. So think about that. When you're creating the kind of content that's going to go on your pages, of course, it's always good to have pictures of inside your business. It's always good to have videos of inside your business. But, even if you can't do that today, are you posting up pieces of content, static content, that's getting those three things across? All right, there you go. Hopefully you guys dug that. Like I said, wanted to just get it in front of you and Let me know what your questions are. Post in the questions below in the comments. Let me know what questions you have. If you've got something that's working for you real well, tell us about it. Tell us what you're doing specifically that's working for you. We are a community of marketers, of entrepreneurs, of business owners, and I want to make sure that you got that. Any questions that I didn't get answered on this, I will do my best to answer in the chat after. So thanks for watching, and I'm going to do lots of these in the next little bit because part of my job is to make sure that we are helping businesses to continue to thrive through all this, to continue to survive, and more than survive, but like really, really get up there. And there's a lot of things that you can do that may not seem like such a big deal right now, but for relatively inexpensive, an inexpensive exchange for money or time, you can get a lot out of on the other end. So watch this page, watch this profile. I'm going to be doing lots of this. Not only am I going to be doing lots of this, but if you actually go back through my profile, like go click to my profile, you go back to my profile, there's going to be lots of other stuff that you've got here. So if you happen to be watching this on Facebook, go back through the Facebook. If you happen to be watching this on YouTube, go back through YouTube. There's lots of good stuff there. If you happen to be watching this on Serial Progress Seeker, my blog, jump back through there. And of course, this is a social rotation thing, so they're going to get mad if I don't mention the company. There's also good stuff on social rotation for how to set up specific businesses to do cool things on social media. So lots of fun things that you guys can do without having to fork over a lot of cash. And that's the number one thing I tell people in my agency too. I'm like, listen, you don't have to pay me a lot for me to get you a lot in return. And, anybody that does what I do and they've done it as long as I do it, you better have good systems that you can help businesses without them having to give you a lot of cash. And that's one of the things, even if you're not hiring someone to do this stuff, there are options out there. You can do things. Don't let your social profiles get to a spot where there's not content on them every day. You can do this in a very easy way if you know what to look for. And so hopefully that helps you guys with whatever business you have. Lift it up a little bit, and feel free to fire questions my way. All right, be good. Take care. We'll do another one of these really soon. Hopefully you enjoyed it. All right, I'll talk to you soon.